Imagine waking up tomorrow and losing everything. Not your money, not your job, your mind. Imagine being so powerful that entire nations obey your commands, only to end up wandering through fields like an animal, eating grass, sleeping outside, your hair growing wild, your nails becoming like claws. It sounds like a horror story, but according to the Bible, it happened to one of the most powerful kings who ever lived. And the reason why might be more relevant today than most people realize. The most powerful man alive. His name was Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, the ruler of the greatest empire on earth. His armies conquered kingdoms. His wealth was unimaginable. His palaces were legendary. If anyone had a reason to feel important, it was him. And that's exactly where the danger began. Because power has a way of whispering a lie that says, look what you've accomplished, look what you've built. You don't need anyone else. And Nebuchadnezzar started believing it. The warning. One night, the king had a terrifying dream. In the dream, there was a massive tree. Its branches stretched across the earth. Its leaves were beautiful. Its fruit fed countless people. Even the animals found shelter beneath it. But suddenly, a heavenly messenger appeared and commanded, cut down the tree. The tree was chopped down, its branches scattered, its glory destroyed. Only the stump remained. Nebuchadnezzar was troubled. What could it mean? So he called for Daniel. The prophet listened carefully, then delivered a message the king didn't want to hear. Daniel explained, the tree is you. You have become great. You have become powerful, but your pride has reached heaven. And unless you humble yourself, you will lose your kingdom. You will lose your mind. You will live among the animals, and everyone will know that God rules over human kingdoms. Imagine hearing that. A direct warning, a chance to change, a chance to avoid disaster. For a moment, it seemed the king understood, but time passed, and the warning faded from memory. Just the moment everything changed. 1 year later, Nebuchadnezzar stood on the roof of his royal palace, looking over Babylon, one of the greatest cities ever built. And he said, is not this great Babylon that I have built by my mighty power and for the glory of my majesty? Notice the words, I built, my power, my majesty. Not gratitude, not humility, only pride. And before the words had even finished leaving his mouth, judgment arrived. In an instant, the king lost his sanity. The ruler of an empire became like an animal. He lived in the fields, he ate grass, rain soaked his body, his hair grew long and tangled, his nails became like the claws of a bird. The man who once sat on a throne now crawled through the wilderness. Days became weeks, weeks became months, months became years, and the world watched. The turning point. Then one day, everything changed. The Bible says Nebuchadnezzar lifted his eyes toward heaven. For the first time in years, he stopped looking at himself and acknowledged God. The moment he humbled himself, his understanding returned, his sanity returned, his kingdom was restored, his honor was restored. The king who had lost everything found himself again. The lesson. This story isn't really about animal nails or wild hair or even a fallen king. It's about pride, because pride doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it quietly convinces us that we're self-made, that we don't need help, that success belongs entirely to us, that we're in complete control. But pride has a cost. It blinds people, it distorts reality, and eventually, it can make someone lose themselves. Humility does the opposite. Humility brings clarity. Humility restores perspective. Humility restores sanity. Ending. Nebuchadnezzar learned a lesson that many people spend their entire lives avoiding. The higher you rise, the more dangerous pride becomes. But the moment you humble yourself, you see clearly again. And sometimes the strongest thing a person can do is look up, because humility isn't weakness. It's the beginning of wisdom. And for one king, it was the path back to himself.